Welcome to the Creation Evaluation Station. Today we will be evaluating this Kai's Fire Dragon EVO. But before I go into more on this, I just want a couple of reminders. For one, make sure you're checking out the timestamps down below to get to the right part of the video that you want to see the most. These are in-depth reviews, but I also know not everybody wants to see everything. I put the parts of the set at the very end because those are more likely for mocks, not for people wanting to buy the set. People interested in making mocks want to see what parts are in there. I also put a section on the minifigures close up because people like to collect minifigures. So make sure you're checking them out. Skip ahead to what you want to see. Also, maybe if you want to see the whole thing, you can use them as bookmarks so you can see little chunks at a time instead of watching the whole thing at once. On top of that, I want to make sure you have checked your subscription lists, not just to me but to others as well. YouTube is doing an audit this February, and subscribers have been unsubscribed. So make sure you're still subscribed if you want to be, and if you haven't, well, go ahead, you know the rest. We'll get to that at the end of the video anyways. Anyways, back to this. Here's the front, which I did show already. Then here's the back, showing quite a bunch of different steps there. Now, it's a small box, but it's pretty heavy. That being said, let's check out his stats. It's set number 71762. It's for ages 6 and up. Has 204 pieces and retails for $29.99 on the Lego website. And currently, yes, I've seen it there, so it's available as of the recording of this video. I did just check it before making this. So yeah, now I'd like to think I'm saving the best for last, although I do have one more set after this, the temple, but the temple is not in stock, so I have to wait to get that one. But I like the dragons, but so far most of the dragons have been pretty miss. Well, most. I've only done 2. Green dragon was amazing. The lightning dragon was meh, and I have a feeling this is going to be similar to that. But let's go get to it and put it together. Here we have the contents of the box. We have one instruction booklet, not too thick. We have bag number 1, bag number 2, bag number 3, and bag number 4. 4 bags, which seems a lot for a smaller set, but really not a lot of these bags have anything a lot in them. This number 3 is really on the small side, but they're probably divided up that way because of the whole EVO system. Anyways, let's get them open and put it together. Here are our cast of characters for this set, and the snake guys are pretty similar to the ones we've seen in other sets. Nothing new there, and there's nothing really new about this Kai figure. We've seen him before. He does, however, come with his wig, and he comes with a piece of meat. I thought it was for the dragon, but I was looking. There's like a little mini comic throughout the instructions booklet, and apparently he's eating the meat. I don't know. Don't know what the point of putting the meat in there then is. Maybe it's related to something that happens in the game, because this one's more based off from their mobile game, I think. But anyways, chicken legs aside, it's not too bad. I mean, it's the usual fare with the snakes and the oddly matched ninja's outfit. We'll strip it down and make it look, to take a better look at the details for those who haven't seen them already. And but before I do that, I do want to remark first. You can see his little remote control there with the nice little not decal, print on it. And also, I think this guy has probably the best accessories out of any of the snake guys in these sets. I still have yet to do the really large temple, but yeah, I mean, they've had the guys with the arms attached to the back, which, yeah, that's okay. It's not something we haven't seen before, especially with, like, you know, they're basically kind of mimicking Doc Ock, or probably Doc Octopus's back piece that they're using. But in this case, this glider is really nice. It makes the thing really big. And yes, he can't stand up straight, but the greatest thing is there is a hinge here, so you can just simply have these touch the ground and they'll keep him standing upright. Plus you can move them around if you want different poses. Like if he's zooming forward, you'd probably have him, you know, parallel to his back, and so he could fly like Superman. Or if he's just hovering, you know, they'd be up like this while he's standing with his feet down in the air. So it's a pretty clever little backpack build. And then you got this great, you know, grappling hook chain weapon type thing going on, which is a pretty nice thing too. But let's take all that off so we can take a better look at those prints. Here they are with their accessories off. I did put Kai's hair piece on so you could see that. But it is going to come off again right now because we are going to flip it over. Just before that, one quick look at the front again. Very similar. I got different inverted colors for the chest pieces. And there is the backs, and there is Kai's much more happier smiley face. So there we have it. Nothing too new other than that one snake guy's accessories, but everything else pretty much the same we've seen before. Here we have everything together. Figures, the whole set, including our hairpiece. Can't see it. There it is. Now, we'll look at this a little bit closer, probably starting with the small droid over there. Definitely have a nice color theme going on. You know, Kai's red ninja, red dragon, fire dragon, the snakes with their orange and greenish color scheme. But let's get down to taking just a closer look. Here's our little drone. There's no camera on this one. It's fully an offensive one. the shooter there. I kind of like it. It's pretty cute. Definitely, you can see this flying along. The use of the frying pans and the clear parts to make a, you know, look like it's a flying propeller run drone is pretty nice. This shooter, of course, works really good. We're not gonna fire it. This is not a real gun. But I think I've seen better drones. Now, I'm not saying this is bad or anything, but I think there was a Monkey Kid sets or something somewhere I had seen better looking drones than this. That's not saying this is bad. It's pretty small build and simple, and it actually works pretty good. Oh, I think it was like a Spider-Man set or something. I'd seen a really good looking drone, and I mean, this one is definitely serviceable just fine and fun to play. I mean, you could see this flying up to the dragon and, oh no, we've been spotted, and it also fires at them at the same time and stuff like that. This is nice and pretty nice. Like I said, I think I've seen better. Now, the one backpack on the snake, we're not going to look at too much because I look at it in the minifigures section, and but it's actually probably a nicer build than this even. It's very functional and looks good at the same time. So that's that. Now onto our main attraction, the dragon. So here's our finished dragon here, all put together. And you see there, we got a nice saddle here for Kai to be on, and we're just going to pull him off for now. But that's there, you know, showing the flag. We got a nice dragon on the flag. That's always nice. Overall, though, I am not super impressed with this dragon. It's a little bit bigger and has more going on than the Jay's Thunder Dragon, but they just can't seem to get these wings right. That's all I got to say, because on the Jay's Thunder Dragon, they had them on his elbow, and here they're up on the shoulders where they should be, but they tried to make them look bigger just by attaching them together. And for one, there's no posability here, so there's no way to move it, which I think with a few extra parts, or the right parts, this is probably would be posable. And it just looks kind of weird extended out like that. Like, it would look better if he didn't even have the second section. It was just the smaller wing, or the one wing piece, although it does look a little small for the body size. And it's like there's a lot of gold plating pieces on here. Gold plating, it's not really gold plated, but you know, armor. It's supposed to be armor. I mean, I like the use of these straw hats, you know, the goldish color. But this guy is not really any more larger than the blue dragon. I mean, it's deceptive because just how they build the legs, they make them a little bit bigger, including this piece, although I really do not like this. You can see that it's an extended ball joint, and this feels like it could be a weak point. Now, if you're just playing with a dragon like this, it's probably fine, but if you were to try building with this could lead to some damaged parts if you tried putting too much weight. Although, you know, these are just mixel joints, and mixel joints can only go so far anyways, and that's probably one of the biggest weaknesses with all these dragons, is their use of mixel joints to build the arms and legs. Not the actual, you know, these new arm and leg pieces that are bent already. Those aren't probably the biggest issue with them. It's just using the mixel joints, which, like I said, it actually is fine for these smaller dragons. And got some mouth movement here, and he does bend at the neck. But also the way the instructions said it, there is very little hip motion. He can only like splay out to the side like that, which that's, I mean, you want it to move back and forth, and it can't do that. You would just have to switch the way that these hinges are. I mean, it's an easy fix, and the same goes for the front, although there's a little bit. Oh wait, they are done the other way. Yeah, you can see here it's done the other way with the ball on the body part, and you can move it this way, you can move it that way much better, while this is lacking. It only gets the up and down splayed out movement, which isn't really that good. But it's an easy fix, but it really shouldn't be like that. And we got these cool transparent dual molded pieces. Got the fire on the tail, which is kind of nice. I like that tail better than the electric dragon's one. And these are also dual molded, and I don't know if that's what drives the prices of these dragons up. We'll take a closer look at that. We'll talk more about that later. But other than that, I mean, it's got a good color scheme going. You see it's very orange on the underbelly, but he's red on top, so he's got kind of a dual color mode that way. Probably too much black in here, but that's pieces that they aren't going to make in different colors. Although some of these pieces down here, I don't know, they could have. I mean, that's just a round 2x2 plate. There's no reason why they couldn't do that in orange or red, and even some of these other parts. But that is what they've chosen to do. And now the other things like the mixel joints, like this here and the tail, now that's slightly understandable. You can't really do too much about them. And this does make some good use of these armor parts for the EVO system. Also bulks them up quite a bit, so the limbs aren't quite so thin. Clicks on fairly easy. It's good to go. Other than that, not too much to say, so let's head back to the desk and give it a rating. Give it its final eval. Right back here at the desk, and gonna give this a good thorough eval. Just off the top of my head, I mixed feelings about this one. Really am. I mean, it's a dragon, which are always my favorite, but this one just, it's an upgraded version of Jay's Lightning Dragon, and I feel like it doesn't have much more going for it than that. It's made to look a little bit bigger using some light techniques, not really amazing techniques whatsoever, but just, you know, using extending things out by like one stud and using some other pieces that are a little bit bigger that get the same job done. But other than that, it doesn't feel much different. Now, I didn't show it in its pre-EVO form, partially because this thing has several different forms it's supposed to take. Like, the final form puts all the gold armor on and the extra wings. First step is the wings and I think the torso extender, or maybe just I don't know. There were several different steps, and I wasn't going to show all of them. I think everybody kind of wants to see the final product anyways. When it's all stripped down, it looks kind of cute, like some kind of weird fire lizard dog thing. But when it gets all done, it definitely loses that. But it just loses the cuteness anyways. The wings are probably the most distracting part of it. If it wasn't for that, it would be better. For a younger kid set, this is okay. It's a simple dragon, and they'll have fun with it. But I think the wings could have been done differently to make it look better, even function better. But before I get any more saying any of that, let's get to the actual evaluation. So appearance, it's kind of meh. Now the bad guy stuff, like this guy is probably really good looking, and even the droid, which like I said, I've seen better droids, but there's nothing wrong with this one. It looks good too. Meanwhile, the appearance of this is what's really lacking. And appearance, I decided to give it kind of a meg grade. I gave it an 8. If it had just been the dragon stuff, I probably would have slipped it down to the 7. These guys are bringing it up just a little bit. Function, okay, it's a dragon. It functions like that. The wings kind of could function better. The legs are put on kind of weird, so they aren't usable. I mean, they hold it up. Like, I wanted to try to make this stand on its hind legs. That's not going to happen the way it's hooked up with the legs. That being said, it's easy to fix, but we're judging it by what we got in the box and the instructions. You know, yeah, the wings needs more to it. Jaw opens and closes. That works fine. You know, you get the nice mount place you put Kai up there. He can sit down too. I have him standing, just so he's more visible. Now, this also has some really good functionality to it. The snake jet guy, and so that's not the main thing, and it's kind of disappointing that your side build is better than your main build. But as far as function goes, I'm going to be giving it an 8. It's not terrible, but there's quite a few things that could have been done with this to improve it. Now, fun. There's plenty of fun here, and it's balanced with our bad guys. I would say we got, you know, 2 bad guys, 1 good guy. The good guys also got a big dragon. The bad guys have gear that is equipped for the dragon. This also seems to be going along this core wave. Is like, okay, we have something that flies. Well, we have something that can fight something that flies. We have something that's on the ground. We have something that only stays on the ground. It's like Jay's car has helicopters fighting, which is in the air, but Jay also has weapons on his car that can fire into the air. So, you know, that seems to be a theme this season, that somebody put some thought into what the villains and interplay between the villains and what's going on here. Like this guy, we have a guy who's a flyer and a guy who's controlling a flyer type vehicle, weapon. Well, it's definitely a weapon type thing that can fight a dragon who's got wings and can fly. So the fun is really good there, and like there's good balance here because there's 2 bad guys, but the good guys also have the bigger thing. In this case, a dragon. So we got a good balance there, and if the only lacking in the fun is some of the posability to the dragon, really. Like if it had better posability and stuff, it probably would be getting a 10. But with that being said, I'm giving it a 9. It's not terrible whatsoever, and for younger kids, this is great. You know, to play with just this contained set. Onto techniques. There's definitely not a lot of amazing techniques. It's pretty simple builds. You know, you build the arm, you build the leg, you stick it on, etc., etc. The use of these armor pieces and stuff like that to upgrade it, and the pins to upgrade the size of the dragon a little bit, and that stuff works okay. This like I said, amazing. It's sets maybe balanced with fun, but its design is unbalanced. It's something like that design, I guess. There's some movement there. But let's see, when did I give it? I ended up giving it an 8. Yeah, and that sounds about right. So probably would be getting a little bit less with this, but yeah, I mean, putting the legs on differently is something simple that could be done. That make, you know, it's not really a technique, but it would make it better. and doing something with these wings. This is just, that look funny. I mean, now making him be able to extend out into this pose, which is fine because it looks like he's like stabbing out with these claws that are on top, but it's permanently stuck like this, and it doesn't look very flight friendly either. But it would probably require more parts, but they probably can do something to change the shape of this and also even give it some posability, because there is no posability with this joint. It's not even a joint, it's just an attachment. There is here at the shoulder, but like I said, it's got this really exaggerated extended pose. That's extenuated combined words. So let's see, did I get that 8? Yeah, giving that an 8. So you do some math and divide by 4, and you get an 8.25 for the overall score, which we round up to an 8.5. So that's that. Now to move on to some even worse stuff. The price. Okay, so the price is $29.99, and there's 204 pieces. And this ends up being 14 cents per piece, almost 15%, 15 cents, but we're going to leave it at 14%. It's good enough to give a grade for, because it's above 10 cents, but it's quite a ways above 10 cents. It's not quite as bad as the 4 Plus set I did in this way, the Lloyd's Ninja Mech. But the thing is, the 14 cents, that's more like a 4 Plus set. This isn't supposed to be a 4 Plus, this is a 6 Plus set. And I've already talked about this with my Jay's Thunder Dragon. And I'm not sure why both dragons are more expensive. And the only thing I can think of is these dual molded pieces. They're very large dual molded pieces. A lot of times the dual molded pieces are small, like these snake heads or the cowl for Kai over here. And that is the only excuse I can see for the larger price range. Price. And like this, if you get it at $5 off, you're in a much better place. That being said, this is actually the second set that's $30. There's 2 sets that are in the $30 range, and the other one is Lloyd's car. And that one is good price. Like I said, there's also a possibility they wanted to shoehorn these into a higher price range, but it doesn't feel right. Like, this doesn't feel like $30 worth of Lego here. There's not enough here. I mean, this is borderline a small vehicle here with what we got, but not quite there. And this, no. I think they've had $30 dragons that look a ton better than this. So the price is going to end up getting it a fail. Like, if $5 off, you'd probably get a pass, maybe even a good. Not sure. I didn't sit down and do that part of the math, but as is this price, it's not really that great. And I don't get it, because I mean, it's a 6 Plus set. It's not, 9 Plus, and it's not 4 Plus. But 4 Pluses has the bigger pieces, which this doesn't have a lot of big pieces except for, the head and the wings. And like I said, I think the wings are what causes it. Why they couldn't have it at a $25 price point, I don't know. Be better there. The same thing with the Jay's Thunder Mech. It would be better at $15. It was $20. I don't know what to say. I'm not exactly happy with these dragons. I mean, they are serviceable for the age group. I'll give them that. But they could be better. And we're going to talk more. I'm going to end up doing another top 10 sorta sets when I get all this done, which I still have one more set to do, which is currently unavailable because it's sold out and they're having problems with shipping lanes and the supply stuff, getting stuff in. So when that finally comes in, I will have another video after reviewing that one where we're going to talk a lot more about this wave. But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with this. I mean, it's not totally bad. It's good for the kid, the age range, but on top of that, the price is a little expensive for the age range. I don't know what's going on with this wave. Some of the sets are great, some of them are not. But we'll talk about that more in another video. That being said, this is the end of this review. And if you enjoyed it or want to help support the channel, please hit the like button. And also share it with others who are interested in Lego and Ninjago, in dragons, in just quality of toys. Or any parents who have kids that are into this stuff, help educate them a little bit more on things. Yeah, share it with others, and also please comment your thoughts down below. There's a lot to talk about with these sets, both good and bad. So I have mixed feelings about this. The price is kind of the nail in the coffin, though. It's not the greatest set, but then when the price is really not too good, it makes it worse. Like if it's a really good set, but the price is off, it becomes much more, do I want it? Do I not want it? Is it desirable enough that higher price is acceptable? With something like this, it's not so much. So yeah, let's discuss this and let me know what you think. With that being said, and if you do like my content here, please subscribe if you haven't already. And I think I talked about it at the beginning of this video, but do check your subscriptions. Make sure you're still subscribed both to my channel and whatever other channels you enjoy. YouTube's been doing some weird things, basically an audit, making sure that their viewers are actual viewers. I don't know what in their algorithm determines what's what, but just check, make sure. I've had some subscribers dropped, but I don't mind if they don't like the content. They don't need to stay subscribed. But if it's unintentional, then they need to resubscribe, and I don't know, YouTube needs to get their act together. And I mean, I kind of understand why they do it. They don't want false accounts out there and stuff, but whatever. Anyways, that's it for me here at the Creation Evaluation Station, reminding you, creativity is key. Here we have the extra parts. Got a little bit of this and that in there. We also have an extra chain piece. Now, I've seen the short chains. We've had extra short chains. This is the first time we've had an extra long chain. And that's a good piece to have for doing whatever, decorating or making a weapon, although that'd be a really long weapon for a minifigure, but maybe you're making a giant figure, giant monster or something, you need a longer chain. But that is a good one to have. Other than that, there really isn't too much of note here. We have the contents of bag one, and we have some interesting pieces here. For starters, we have this thing, which I've never seen before. You see, it's a got some elevated corners to it. That's different and interesting. We have our dragon head pieces. Now I've seen these before, including this one, and I really like this because this is kind of a reference, maybe not intentional, to a World of Warcraft dragon, Deathwing, who has a steel jaw. Now this doesn't look like a steel jaw, but if you made it metal and put it on the dragon, it has a bit of an underbite because it's bigger than what the rest of his head, and it has a very distinct shape, and that looks very similar to it. Also have a lot of other pieces. We have a green brick, or the aqua green brick. Kind of a cool color. Don't see too many of them, at least not these sets. Probably a lot more in Friends and stuff where they have the more pastel colors. Plenty of other bricks and plates. Kai is in here with his turkey leg. Probably for the dragon. Some slow pieces. Got some gold inside. And that's bag 1. On to bag 2. Got a lot of joint pieces here. You can see we got those new arm pieces. Got some teethy claw pieces. The other half of those joints. These are nice in that color. Our shooter. We have this lovely little tile here. And it's a flat tile, and it's printed, obviously. Haven't put any stickers on. Got a walkie-talkie, some controllers, and we have 4 frying pans, the most deadliest of weapons. I don't know how well these are going to come out, but they're transparent, clear saucers with some transparent green studs. And we have 1 snake wire. And that's it for bag 2. Looks like we have, well, some parts for the dragon and some parts for the bad guy's vehicle. Probably most of the parts because it's a very small build. Here is the contents of bag 3. We got some of these green fin pieces. We have these new dragon wings, dual molded in red and yellow. And I think that's, yeah, that's transparent, not yellow, orange, excuse me. Transparent orange on there. And some other pieces. This is bag 3, and it was really small, and there's not a lot here. That's it for all the bigger pieces. And then we do have a snake guy, and we have Kai's back sheath and his sword. And we got some good old chains, and I think one of these is an extra, which would be nice. Yep. That's it for that bag. Not much there. Here's the contents of the last and final bag, and we got a lot of gold in here because we got trimmings, as you see. But to start off with, we have another pair of wings, dual molded with orange and red. And then we have this flame piece that actually is dual molded in yellow, clear yellow and red. We have some straw hats and pole. Here is our printed collectible for this one. It's got a dragon on it. Cool. Some gold blades, orange pieces, lots of gold, lots of gold, lots of gold. 1, 2, 3 gold armor pieces, and we also have Kai's cowl. And that's pretty much it. Shouldn't take long to finish this.